The narrative begins at Rice University, where on September 12, 1962, Kennedy came to Houston, went to the football field where the Rice Owls play, and gave what I consider to be one of his 2 or 3 most important speeches of his presidency, and the most important presidential speech of the entire space history.
I am delighted to be here, and I'm particularly delighted to be here on this occasion.
50 years ago, John F. Kennedy came here to this stadium and gave a speech that changed the course of America's space program. He came here for 2 days, and in anticipation of his visit, people seemed to understand that he was going to talk about the space program. It was clear that he came here to visit NASA and to talk to some of the people at Rice who were already involved in the space program, and he asked to give a speech here in Rice Stadium. That day was the middle of September. It was hot, it was steamy. It was freshman orientation week on the Rice campus. And so the stadium was full of almost entirely young people. It was all the incoming freshmen at Rice and busloads of Houston high school and elementary students.
We meet at a college noted for knowledge, in a city noted for progress, in a state noted for strength, and we stand in need of all three.
Today, a new moon is in the sky, a 23-inch metal sphere placed in orbit by a Russian rocket.
So a big game changer occurred in world history when in 1957 the Soviet Union shot up Sputnik. And there became a terror, really, that rippled through the nation that we were losing the space race to the Soviet Union. And quickly things got very amped up.
So it is not surprising that some would have us stay where we are a little longer, to rest, to wait. But this city of Houston, this state of Texas, this country of the United States was not built by those who waited and rested and wished to look behind them.
When he gave a rationale at Rice of why America should go to the moon and do it within a decade, and he anchored it about the history of discovery, reflecting back on all of the great explorers that came to the New World. And he kept saying we should do it because it's hard, we should do it because it's right.
William Bradford, speaking in 1630 of the founding of the Plymouth Bay Colony, said that all great and honorable actions are accompanied with great difficulties, and both must be enterprised and overcome with answerable courage.
Well, it's a marvelously written speech, and it has a sing-songy quality to it, and it's deeply rooted in history. What scholars like myself do, we like looking at the drafts of speech to see how a speech evolves, and then we like to look for presidential scribble, how a president last minute's going to change the text.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
So in this speech, the fact that he was telling an audience at Rice University, why does Rice play Texas? Because it develops grit, he said, and character. And that it's what we all do. We struggle to be better, and it's a way to learn about ourselves, even though the odds are great. And that's why we do things. This was an extraordinary speech about the importance of discovery, and that you don't throw in the towel, and that we've got to push forward. It's the ultimate moment of really Kennedy nationalism at play here.
And it will be done before the end of this decade. And I am delighted that this university is playing a part in putting a man on the moon as part of a great national effort of the United States of America.
If I had to pick the #1 moment in Rice University history, I would say John F. Kennedy coming to campus on September 12, 1962, and leading us into going to the moon, right from our stadium here. It's important because, look, when Neil Armstrong went on the moon, that was the first time man broke the shackles of Earth. And it's going to be seen 1,000 and 2,000 years from now. There will be thousands of years from now, people will be amazed at how primitive we were. They finally got off of Earth for the first time. And the fact that that movement to leave Earth in earnest began at Rice University with President Kennedy is going to live on as one of those eternal moments. It's one of the I'd say 4 or 5 great moments of presidential oratory ever in U.S. history.
Many years ago, the great British explorer George Mallory, who was to die on Mount Everest, was asked why did he want to climb it. He said, because it is there. Well, space is there, and we're going to climb it. And the moon and the planets are there, and new hopes for knowledge and peace are there. And therefore, as we set sail, we ask God's blessing on the most hazardous and dangerous and greatest adventure on which man has ever embarked. Thank you.